Brother lads, welcome back to the Cossy podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. No smile today. I'm absolutely disappointed. Benjamin Sesko has made a decision. His decision is to stay at RB Leipzig for another year, just like Erling Haaland. That is confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein, and the biggest Sky Sports Germany. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Like I said, we will be giving you the latest around these deals, and this one has also come to an end. By the way, that means that these are three deals that Arsenal have actually walked away from. The first one was the Martin Zubimendi deal. The second one is the Benjamin Sesko one, and of course, Jorah Hato deciding that he's not joining Arsenal this summer. In this video, we're gonna be deciding which are the next steps. What are we Arsenal looking at in terms of the other alternatives? Because a couple of sources are saying that Arsenal are now moving on to players like Joshua Zirkzee. We are also going to explain RB Leipzig's win over Chelsea, Arsenal, and Man United, and why I say I told you so. I said it like if a player doesn't really make the decision very, very nice and early, they are really contemplating about staying. They're really considering the option of staying at their parent club, and they're scared of the option of change, and that is what has happened right about this afternoon. Right, so this comes in from Sky Sports Germany, confirming that the decision has been made. Benjamin Sesko will stay with RB Leipzig. He will not be moving to the Premier League this summer. Instead, Sesko will extend his contract with RB Leipzig and stay in the German Bundesliga. The signatures are still missing, but it looks very, very good. A big statement should be coming out from RB Leipzig, and this has also been reported via Fabrizio Romano. So let's look at Fabrizio Romano. What has Romano said? Romano says that this is an exclusive. Obviously, it is not. Benjamin Sesko has decided to stay at RB Leipzig and sign a new contract on improved terms. Decision has been made for the talented striker, similar to what happened to Haaland last season, or during his time at Dortmund, when he decided to stay back in the days at BVB. Sesko will stay at Leipzig with a new gentleman agreement for future exit. That is very, very important, but I don't think that is important in the lens of Arsenal Football Club. So, literally in detail, this is what The Athletic have written about this story. They've said Benjamin Sesko is set to sign a new deal on an improved contract with RB Leipzig amid significant transfer interest in the 21-year-old. Leipzig are expected to announce Sesko's new deal on Wednesday. Wow. They're expected to announce this deal on Wednesday, which actually means that they knew, right? So soon, they knew they were actually going to keep him. Sesko has attracted interest from Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, and The Athletic reported earlier on Tuesday that those clubs wanted clarity over the striker situation before the European Championship begins on Friday. Damn you, I hate you, The Athletic. They're also saying Arsenal had appeared as the front runners for Sesko's signature this summer, but the player remaining at RB Leipzig was always a distinct possibility and the biggest threat to thwarting the North London side's hopes of signing the Slovenian international. Sesko's previous contract, which ran until 2028, contained a release clause in the region of 65 million euros, which is around 55.3 million pounds, meaning his performances at the Euros were unlikely to significantly impact his potential sell fee. He is in line to represent Slovenia at the tournament, which is with his side facing Denmark, England, and Serbia in Group C. So, guys, there we have it. It's over. We wanted it to be over as quickly as it could. It's now over as quickly as it can be. Benjamin Sesko, the saga has come to an end. He has signed a new deal at RB Leipzig. That deal is going to be announced tomorrow on Wednesday, and us to now have to move on. But before we move on, I just want to talk about the decision and why he has decided to stay at RB Leipzig. Now, for me, I said this yesterday, and I said this the day before yesterday. I was unconvinced about him taking so long to decide his future. I was unconvinced about him taking weeks, a whole week, days, hours, deciding where he's gonna play. And Fabrizio coming out last week and saying the player doesn't know where he's gonna play football. That was ridiculous. Like, how can you not know where you want to be? How can you not know what you actually want to do? It's really ridiculous. And of course, even if you didn't know, it was never going to take weeks. It was never going to take all that time. So for me, he wasted our time. He wasted everybody's time. And eventually, he has decided to make the coward move. He had decided to make the safer bet, which of course, for a player's career, that is okay. But in terms of Arsenal, and I'm happy that this actually is broken right now, because, like I said, we could have waited until June. We could have waited until the end of the Euros, and then this guy, throws a bomber on us that is staying at RB Leipzig. That would have been absolutely ridiculous, right? So for me, I'm not happy with Benjamin Sesko. If he wanted to stay at RB Leipzig, he should have signed a new deal right there and then. And then, just told Arsenal, just told Chelsea, just told everyone interested, I'm not moving. My decision is to stay at RB Leipzig. But we've wasted time. Now, Joshua Zirkzee, if Arsenal really considered Joshua Zirkzee as a concrete option, Joshua Zirkzee is moving to AC Milan. Why? Because Arsenal have been waiting for the Benjamin Sesko situation. I don't like that. I think that we have been led into wasting our time, something that I don't think is professionally good. But the Sesko saga, guys, is over. I'm really, really sorry for the people who wanted him. But it's celebrations for us who didn't want Sesko. I didn't really want him, honestly. You already know on the channel. I didn't like Sesko. I didn't want Sesko. And I thought he's a good profile. He's a good player. He can provide something different at Arsenal. But this means Arsenal can now look at real men. This means Arsenal can look at real talent out there. Arsenal can look at the finished article, the finished proven strikers out there. Obviously, we're still looking for someone who's a little bit younger, someone who can be groomed. So don't expect Arsenal to go and sign a 29-year-old striker or a 30-year-old striker. That's not going to happen. So at least the consistency and what the Sesko deal has done, it has given us a clear indication of what kind of striker Arsenal want and what kind of profile we are looking for in terms of age, in terms of income, in terms of transfer fee and all that. So for me, Sesko as a deal is just an opener of what we're gonna see in the Arsenal transfer market for a striker. What are we going to do? We're not going to go for huge experience. We're not going to go for Harry Kane. We're not going to go for Robert Lewandowski, Karim Benzema profiles. We're going for younger players. So I won't be surprised if by the end of this week we're hearing Alvarez linked. We're hearing Ivan Ferguson getting stronger, and we're hearing other young strikers linked to Arsenal getting stronger. So for me, Sesko, goodbye. Yeah, it's okay. You can go to whichever club you want. You can stay at RB Leipzig. That is okay, because in the first place, I wanted Victor Gyökeres, I wanted Lautaro Martinez, I wanted Alexander Isak. And although these deals are very far away from happening, although these deals are not exactly easy to do, I still want Arsenal to try and get in a good number 9. I still want Arsenal to be forced into a corner where we have to sign Victor Gyökeres. That's what I want this summer. That is what I feel like this summer. I don't want your Benjamin Sesko, profile. Is a good profile. Don't tell me about your profiles. Don't tell me about your profiles. You can stay at RB Leipzig. I am sure no Arsenal fan is afraid of RB Leipzig because they are Benjamin Sesko. And when we meet in the Champions League, I am telling you this, Arsenal will beat RB Leipzig without conceding a goal from Benjamin Sesko. So we can move on. We can move on with our lives. Yes, you've betrayed us. You've wasted our time, but we can actually move on. So let's talk alternatives. And of course, we'll do a live stream about alternatives, really. But in terms of alternatives now, none has been linked yet. So Sesko is off. Who is the next move? What is Arsenal's next move? So in terms of alternatives, Arsenal, of course, have been looking at a couple of names: Joshua Zirkzee, Ivan Ferguson, Gyökeres, and a couple of others. For me, this is the time for us to see Arsenal now make bold moves on the market, right? Because what has happened here is we have wasted 10 days, 11 days into the window, right? And that means that if you waste another 1 week, you're going to work under panic. And also, the Sesko deal has exposed Arsenal. They want a striker. They want a forward. So clubs out there now know that we want a forward and we want a striker. So again, you've got to do these deals quick before the Euros. Arsenal definitely must sign a player before the Euros, or sign a striker before the Euros. Because if you sign one after the Euros, you're going to pay the Euro premium. You're going to pay the Euro tax. And I don't want to explain that. So for me, in terms of pecking order, this should be our list. I mean, for us who don't like Sesko. For you who like Sesko, it's time for you to go to bed and cover your head. So if for us who don't like Sesko, number one now, right? We were willing to pay 55 million for Sesko. So number one is Victor Gyökeres. Up the money, please. Up the money, up the money, up the money. Now, for Victor Gyökeres, I'm going to do a whole video today about Victor Gyökeres, I promise. And why I think he deserves a full video is this. I don't think Sporting Lisbon are not willing to negotiate for that boy's fee. They are willing to negotiate, and they will be willing to negotiate. The only problem with Victor Gyökeres is that Arsenal think the transfer fee is too high for a guy who has played 2 seasons, 2 good seasons only, right? But how many seasons has really Benjamin Sesko played? Like, guys, right? How many seasons? Sesko has played 1 good season, okay, 2 good seasons. One at RB Salzburg and one at RB Leipzig. That's not big difference there, right? So for me, top must be Gyökeres. We will get a price cut if we negotiate well. We will get a price cut on this deal. And I think Gyökeres is 100% going to want to move to the Premier League. Unlike Sesko, who is 21, still has to be baby-fed. Gyökeres is now a man. At 25, you're looking to break through. You're looking to, break through the Premier League, break through the German Bundesliga. He's going to want that bigger move. And as we see strikers make switches, Zaxi here and there, Sesko saying and this and that, I think we will have kind of a domino of strikers. Like, I'll show you something. I think if Arsenal went and signed a player like Isak, just to say, if Arsenal signed Isak, or if someone signed Isak, not really Arsenal, but if someone signed Isak, Newcastle would move in for Gyökeres. Sporting then would move into to sign a player like Sahu Girassi. There's going to be a striker domino, and it's going to be very interesting because we did have kind of a managerial domino that was going on, right? Just before the summer happened. One manager leaving, then joining the other, and then things like that. So for me, Gyökeres must now be considered as a concrete option. That's number one. Number two, and among the strikers that Arsenal need and want this summer, Victor Gyökeres is the only one you would say is up for sale, maybe an Osimhen. But when we say he's expensive, honestly, Gyökeres is not more expensive than Osimhen. So keep your eyes out on Victor Gyökeres. The second one, Osimhen. Why Osimhen is now a real option is our priority is gone. And I'm not saying like that in a bad way. I'm really happy, by the way, that Sesko is not joining us, because for me, like I said, it's a good day. Didn't like him. Didn't want him there. And yeah, don't take out Edin Ketia and give me Sesko. Please, spare me the embarrassment. So why I think Osimhen now is a concrete option, Napoli will be willing to negotiate. Because the player doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia. He doesn't want to go to the Arab money. Yes, they have the Arab money. But he doesn't want to go to mine oil. He's not a miner. He is actually, he's actually a footballer. So he doesn't want to go to the oil wells yet. Maybe 2-3 seasons later, he might want to go to Saudi Arabia to just dig up some money. Okay? So, because he doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia, he wants to stay in Europe. Which clubs are willing to pay the premium for this guy? It will be Arsenal, and that premium will be around 70 to 80 million euros. And Aurelio De Laurentiis has got to listen. Aurelio, You've got to listen to the radio, right? So Osimhen, option number 2. Option number 3, Evan Ferguson. Go to Brighton and massively, obliterate their expectations. If we offered 60 million euros for Evan Ferguson, that opens negotiations. Actually, 50 million euros opens negotiations for Evan Ferguson. 60 million euros, that would see our first bid rejected. 70 million euros, that would be our second bid. That would see our second bid rejected. 70 million euros plus 8 million euros in add-ons, that would get the deal done. So let's look at the alternatives, and I'm going to be discussing alternatives today. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you do subscribe. Which players now do you want us to move on to now that your boys, Isak, Sesko, Guimaraes, they are no longer options, right? They are no longer available. So deals are being decided, although not in the favor of Arsenal, but they are being decided. And of course, that is what we do at the Cossy podcast. We react to the latest stories.